So we were going to adopt. And then my husband said, can you just give it 3 more tries, 3 more attempts, and then we will adopt. So I said, fine, we're just putting off the inevitable. I'd had a hysteroscopy. We'd removed a polyp from my uterus. That's when we actually found out I had a polyp in my uterus. So I don't know how long that had been there, because polyps in your uterus, in your wall, they can prevent the fertilized embryo sticking. So I don't know how long I'd had that. But there were now new tests, also like AMH. The AMH test, anti-Mullerian hormone, it didn't exist in the day when I was still first trying to conceive. And it showed that I had very, very few eggs left. And then my FSH test, which is follicular something hormone, follicular stimulating hormone, I don't know what it stands for, actually. I'm lying to you, I just know it's FSH. It showed that whatever eggs were left were like low quality, like I'm a 43-year-old woman, basically. And this was when I was 37. So yeah, anyway, we went through an ART process. I won't go into that. Those who know. And there we were. So there I am now. I'm 39, which is old. I have a twin pregnancy. That's not good either. And I didn't know I had AS, ankylosing spondylitis. That is a major no. You should not be falling pregnant when your AS is not under control. So there I am. These poor babies are coming into a mother who is sick. The pregnancy, things went wrong like from the beginning. I had I'm lying. I had gestational thyrotoxicosis, which I'd never heard of until I got it. My thyroid went hyper into overdrive, and there was nothing they could do because it was being caused by the twins themselves. The amount of hormone they were secreting, no medication could counteract that. So it was either stillbirth, miscarriage, die, me or them. But yeah, after 16 weeks, it finally died down. And then I had the next problem. So besides my age, besides the fact that it was twins, I got sick with that very bad thyroid issue, which must have been damaging to the twins. My heart rate shot up. It was bad. It was scary, really scary. And I kept needing tests every single week to see how things were progressing. And then I got LRP, laryngopharyngeal reflux, which is reflux that doesn't go all the way up. So it was bad. And it was bad. It had actually caused damage already in my throat and my vocal cords. So, and this being me, used to pain, I only went because I felt my throat wasn't okay. And when I went, it was nice. I could be conscious, hey? As you put the scope down my nose and down my throat with the camera, and I could see on the screen, you could actually see the nodules and bumps on my vocal cords, which should have been smooth. That was nice. It's not a very nice procedure to pipe down your nose and then down the back of your throat, but it was really cool to see it. And she was saying, other people ask to be put out for this, sedated, and none of her patients before had ever watched it. So I think I'm crazy, but it was really cool. But it showed us that I was damaged and I needed medication to undo the damage and to prevent further damage, because that can become cancerous also. So there I am, next whammy. I need this medication. I need to be lying, not sleeping. I can't sleep. Not that I could sleep anyway with twins. I grew big very, very fast. At like 12 weeks, people were asking me, how many months do you have left? Or when I tell them, well, I'm only 12 weeks pregnant, 3 months, they would say, okay, do you have twins? The one lady said, do you have twins? Because yeah, my sister blew up like you and she had twins. So it was noticeable very fast, which was a bit funny because by the time I was 18 weeks, I would be walking in the shop trying, and people would say, oh my word, what a huge stomach. You're either due now or you've got twins. And there was one time when I was like only 22 weeks pregnant, I went to the petrol station and the guy, this Xhosa man, African, real African. And he tells me, no, you should not be driving anywhere. You should be at home resting. Your stomach is way too big for you. fun times. It was fun. I enjoyed carrying life, but the pain, I think I went into that with the AS video. It was horrific. It was horrendous. So I wasn't sleeping. I was not sleeping because of the reflux and because of the pain in my body, in my bones, my ribs. Okay, back to the twins. So we've got all these risks, and then I knew where each twin was. I knew twin A, who is our talkative, undiagnosed but definitely autistic twin. And then we've got our twin B. Twin A or twin 1 is the one that's going to be born first. It's the twin that's closest to the cervix, to the exit. And even if it's going to be a C-section, they always, what our gynae obstetrician said, they start with the twin that's closest to the exit. So she, twin 1, was at the bottom, and then the twin B was at the top up here. She would kick my poor baby all the time. She moved day and night. And I told my husband, this is not normal. It's too much. Compared to my 2 other children and the twin at the bottom, this is not normal. She's not sleeping. She is not sleeping. I'm not sleeping. She's not sleeping during the day either. There was a time we went to a baby shower, and the woman across sitting there, I was just quiet, but I could feel the kicking. And afterwards, a woman tells me, I was having fun watching the babies kick in your belly. So you could actually see this ferocious, strong kicking. And we said, okay, this is going to be our troublesome one. We were thinking more like reflux or colic. They were born very healthy, good weights. They were good weights, eh? For preemies, this was only 36 weeks, but it was a month early. Unfortunately, I really wanted a natural birth, but like the other 2 births I'd had. But Miss Twin A was transversed. She was lying across. So she had to be cut out when I had we could have waited for her to try and move, but then I had an emergency. I got preeclampsia. Another risk factor. So they had to come out ASAP. And they had stopped growing. That was the other reason. So I was going to hospital to be monitored because they had stopped growing. Both of them had stopped. And then they realized that I've got preeclampsia. So they had to be delivered when I went into labor 2 days later. They'd been trying to give us medication to speed up the lung healing, growth, etc. But labor started at 36 weeks, and so they were born at 36 weeks. They were fine. One weighed 2.68 and one weighed 2.98. So those are very good weights for twins. They were born, and wow, it was hectic. It was made more hectic because I had inflammation throughout the pregnancy in my hand. Well, first I didn't know what it was. I just knew that I can't move my thumb this way, it hurts. If I do this, it hurts. It was painful and was getting more and more sore. And so I was not allowed to move my hand. I had to put on a brace. So I've got these twins and I can't carry them. Twin infants are hard, guys. The only thing my husband and I kept telling ourselves, or telling each other, was it could have been worse. It could have been triplets. But it is hard. It is hard. So I couldn't carry them until I had my operation, surgery, number probably 22 at that point. And the damage they found was actually worse than what they had anticipated. Typical. So then I had to wait and recover and not use that hand. But anyway, she was screaming a lot. That's where I'm trying to go. So my children, my older ones, had to really join in and help. Our girl, my troublesome girl, would scream and scream for ages. And from 7 p.m. until 11, she was just crying. From 5 p.m. until 11, she would be crying. My twin sister, my children would carry her out to the garage so that she doesn't wake up her twin who's sleeping. And they would not. Both of them. This was the first time that it ever happened to us. Both of them refused to sleep. In a cart, on a car seat, on a bed, they refused. Nothing we did helped them to sleep, flat on a bed, on a carpet, or anything flat. They wanted to be in our arms, and it's so unsafe. Everyone says don't do it, but we all needed rest. So we slept, my husband and I. So we got a lady, but she wanted to be paid, who came and helped some nights when my hand was not in use, so I was not in use. In fact, I was not meant to be carrying them anyway. I'd been told my C-section was hectic, I'd lost the blood, I'd had blood transfusions, they had to cut, my stomach muscles were bad. So I'd actually been told not to even lift them up anyway. So there I am recovering from pain. I've got these from a C-section. I've got these twins who want to be carried the whole time. And twin B, who is the focus of this video, she was exactly as she was in the womb. She didn't stay still. So she actually was sleeping, but she was moving a lot in her sleep. And I've seen apparently research, don't ask me where it is, but when I Googled moving around a lot or something like that, perinatal, prenatal, and afterwards, I saw a link. She was moving around a lot in her sleep, and she would have like spasms in her stomach. She would be like that, which would wake both of us up. My husband and I would swap babies. It was hard, guys. Twins are hard anyway, but if you now are having to sit and not lie down because they're not sleeping, so you're upright day and night, you can imagine the havoc that wrought, or that wreaked, whatever the word is, the havoc wrought on my SI joints. Yeah, at 4 months we started sleep training, and then our girl would make strange sounds, like she'd be going at 11 p.m. My husband even recorded it, because I now went to the other bedroom. I was still in recovery, so I slept in another room, and our girl, because we're sleep training now at 4 months, she slept in her own room on a cot in her own room, and then our twin slept in our room in a cot also, the busy one who was restless in her sleep. So my husband would send me recordings. This is what your daughter was doing instead of sleeping. So, there was that also, the lack of sleep. It went on. It only stopped when she was now medicated after age 3. That's when she finally started sleeping at night, only thanks to medication. So, when mothers complain about lack of sleep, I always just think, I hope it will end. Just hope that, pray that it ends, because if it will go on for years, you're in trouble. And I know autism parents whose children, teenagers, are still not sleeping at all, even on medication, etc. So I know it can be worse. Our girl seemed to develop fine until around 18 months. That's when things just went downhill. You'd count with her, and she would count along with you, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to number 10. She would laugh when you played with her. She would bash her face. Well, I noticed she was a sensory seeker. She's the type who would just throw herself onto the bed hard. She went hard. And she wanted you to play rough with her. But at least she wanted us to play with her back then. So she would take your hand, and when you get to number 10, then she would smash your hand on her face. So you'd actually have to make sure that you don't smash her poor nose. So she liked hard pressure. And then at 18 months, it stopped. It was classic autism regression, or whatever they might call it now. She stopped talking, completely stopped. She had started saying da da da, she stopped. She stopped counting. She stopped making eye contact with us. She stopped being touched. She didn't want us to touch her. If her poor twin, who loves her so much, even up to today, would touch her hand, grab her hand, she would push her. And there were other things, perception. We were not human to her. We were pieces of furniture. So if someone is lying on the floor, she'll just walk on you. Like she walked on books, she walked on us. She'll just stamp on you like you're not there, like you're not a person, like you're part of the carpet. She would just step on you. She would just push you. She would push your skirt. She didn't need us at that point. She didn't need us. We didn't exist. We ceased to exist to her. So at 24 months, she also walked a bit late. She walked a bit late also. So that was another sign. So here I was thinking, okay, she's a sensory seeker. I mean, there are many people who have sensory processing disorder who don't have autism, or who are not autistic, but most autistics have sensory processing issues. And then the sudden lack of speech, the sudden lack of eye contact, that is one of those major signs. The one not wanting to be touched. She was in her own world, literally in her own world. That phrase is not overused because it's real. We ceased to exist for her. She would sing loudly, whatever song was playing. That was all. That was the only communication. That's the only time we heard voices, sound from her, was when she was singing. I took her for diagnosis. I mean, I knew. Guys, I'd already diagnosed my son, so I knew it was classic. So I went to the psychiatrist. She was a nice lady. And when we were done, when she was now giving me the results, she said, you knew, didn't you? You really just came for confirmation, didn't you? I guess because I never cried, or I didn't act surprised, or the way I was enunciating or telling her the issues, it was what she saw in her assessment. And yes, I knew. I just wanted it to be confirmed because of how great the decline was, and therefore how much support, how much therapy I knew she would eventually need. And that is how I knew our girl was autistic. My husband, with our son, he hadn't wanted to accept it at first. Not as in, I don't want to have a child who's got challenges, but more like, nah, I took long to speak too, so what if he's 3 and he's not talking? You'll see. He will talk eventually. But with our girl, it hurt, because she was daddy's girl. And he would show me videos, and I don't want to even think about it. I hated watching them, because he'd say, but look at what she was doing when she was 7 months old. She was playing with me. She was laughing with me. Now, she's not even looking at me. And show me videos where she's talking or babbling, repeating words after him. And now there's nothing, just gone. It was like she was gone. And what hurt for me the most was the distance that was now forming between her and her twin. There's all this myth about, twin bonds and things. Twin bonds, but it didn't happen without girls. Her sister, twin A, wanted it, but twin B didn't. And that was the most painful part of our autism journey this time. It was the rejection that I could not explain. How to explain to a 2-year-old that your sister is not pushing you because she wants to hurt you. It's because she doesn't like being touched. You can't explain that to a 2-year-old. By the time she was 3, our girl was not talking, and our girl would say, she'd call us girl, her sister, her twin sister, and then she'd say to me, Mommy, she's not talking. When adult autistics tell us that we make them sound like they're sick, like they've got a disorder, I wish they could experience that. And then they would change their language. Because that is a disorder. When you're pushing people away like that, violently, when you're stepping on people's hands, because to you, they are just part of furniture, that is disordered behavior. We can't sugarcoat it. That's not normal. It's not normal. That is not normal. So we spent months doing the right thing. Don't look them in the eye. I had been attending autism workshops because of my son, and I watched a video where the person was saying that the autistics, it was a whole bunch of autistics, those who could type, those who could speak verbally, and they were describing how how eye contact feels. Then I'd come and tell my family that, okay, guys, we mustn't. Well, we never did. My husband did want to. He'd say, Rio, look at me. Please look at me. Yeah. So I would tell them that, okay, the one autistic said it feels like knives jabbing him in the face. It was, you must look it up. So yeah, we stopped doing eye contact with her for her sake, so she's comfortable. We stopped touching her as much as we could, and we just let her live in her own world. And I think she would look at my face, and I think it's maybe a grand total of 4 times that she's called me mommy, and none of the times was she actually calling me. She would pull me when she started walking. She would pull me when she wanted something. She loved eating, and she scared me because I was in groups where some of these autistic children don't just overeat, but some of them were eating the wrong things. There was one mom who was desperate and scared because her child was eating toilet paper. So they would find it in his stool. He would end up in hospital. They would try and lock away the toilet paper, but no matter what, he was now 16. He always found the toilet paper and ate it. And I thought, okay, is she going to graduate from eating food all the time to eating things that are not edible? She really wanted the stuff in her mouth. So we bought her a sensory chew to hang around her neck so that she could chew on it. It really kind of grounded her and made her feel better. She started crying and screaming and having meltdowns. But because she can't gesture or point or communicate in any way, we still don't know half the time why she's crying, why she's miserable, why she's upset. Yeah, so she wanted to eat, then she'd pull me to the kitchen, and then I'm meant to guess what she wants to eat in the cupboard. But as heartbreaking as that was, seeing the distance between her and her sister, hearing my 8-year-old asking me, Mom, why doesn't Rati, because her name is Uri Ratile, God has loved us, Uri Ratile. So Rati is her Sesotho nickname. She say, Mom, why doesn't Rati speak to us? When will she learn to talk? And I'd have no answer. No answer whatsoever. So yeah, she would say, Mommy, if I appeared out of nowhere and she hadn't been expecting me, then she'd say, Mommy. Or if I walk past, she'd say, Mommy. But she's never called me and said, Mommy, come, or Mommy, look. Can't read books with her. She's not interested in books at all. She's not. Now, age 4, I will try and read a book with her, try and teach her words, but she will only focus on one particular page that she likes, and that is that. The difficulties for me are the moods. We ended up having to put her on an antipsychotic because she really was very anxious. She had terrible high anxiety. So we had to put her on antipsychotics, which have helped a lot. She was really anxious. She would be terrified of everything. If we went to the shop, she'd be terrified to come into the shop with me. She'd be sad and upset if my husband walked past then and stayed out the shop. She was crying a lot. Church is a no, not at all. We don't know if it's the smells, it's the people, it's because, anything can hit the sense, can assault the senses. But because she's not speaking, we don't know. With my son, he could tell me, they've changed the chairs, please put the chairs back, so I would know that it's the new arrangement that is not planned that is bothering him. But with my girl, I don't know. Even now, I can't tell you. Now, she likes order. So when they go to the park, instead of playing, she will make all her siblings, remember I've got 6 children, so she would make all her siblings sit on a bench in a particular order. She will pull them. You sit here, you sit here, you sit here. That's what gives her pleasure. Which, of course, for the 6-year-old and the 8-year-old who's globally developmentally delayed, so is maybe 6 years old himself. So for the twin and the other young siblings, that's not playing. We went to the park to play, not to sit on a bench. So it's those little things that are hard to deal with. And my time is not my own. She is a mommy's girl 24/7, and she wants to pull me. She thrives on pulling me places, take me to the closet. She wants whatever she wants, and she can't tell me what she wants, but she just wants. It's like she's restless. I can show you video. She cannot sit. She does not sit. So that's another reason why church didn't work. And also because our church rents a hall. It's a school hall, so the children's artwork is on the wall. She wants that stuff. She wants to hold it. She wants to bring it down and play with it and pull it apart. So that's another reason why church doesn't work. And she wants to run up and down. She was crying. It doesn't work. Where are we today? We've seen a breakthrough, and that's why I wanted to end this. I would see other people's happy stories and I'd think, okay, should I hope for that? Should I be satisfied with where I am? We tried to teach and learn sign language. My talkative twin picked it up so fast, and the rest of us, but she herself, she's not a signer. And that was my heartache, that, okay, you're not interested in signing, you're not interested in talking, you're not interested in pointing. How will you communicate? That, for me and her father, is the worst. Because we're thinking, okay, if she gets hurt, or if her tooth is sore, if she's got a headache, she can't tell us. It is horrible. There was a video, because we've got cameras in our house, around our house. And there was a day my husband was, lying on the rug playing with the children. And he said something like, sleep, sleep. And then our non-talking toddler went to the bedroom and she brought her receiving blanket. And she came back wet though. So her father's asking, did you go play with your other siblings who are in the bath? And then they said, no, she didn't come here. And we just forgot about it. And then later on, when he was showing me how the word sleep triggered her to go get the blanket, the receiving blanket, like, oh, look how cute this is. But after he said sleep, she left to go to the room. And what we hadn't noticed was our geyser had burst. And there was a puddle of water on our tile flooring. So when she was running, she slipped. And she fell backwards onto her back and head onto the tile floor. And she got up. I don't think she registers pain like we all do, which is not good. It's not good. She's sensitive. We can't touch her hair at all. So we cut her hair because we can't comb it. It gets matted and thick and smelly because she doesn't want it to be washed. I will be honest. She doesn't want her hair to be washed. She can't handle it. She will scream and cry and thrash around, and she's heavy. Because not only her appetite, but with the antipsychotic, it has definitely increased her appetite a lot. So she'll thrash around and she's heavy. So we can't cut her hair. We can't wash her hair. I can't do anything else to her hair. So we cut it every now and then. So yeah, she's sensitive to feeling, but to touch, to pain. She will have horrible abscesses leaking, and she doesn't react. She won't cry, nothing. It is a horrible thing to have a child who doesn't seem to perceive pain and doesn't talk. So yeah, she fell in that water, and then she got up and you could see her splashing with the water. And then she goes into the room, so assume she's coming to get her blanket, and she walks out again, splashes a bit more, and then brings the blanket. Absolute silence. If it had been our other girl, she'd have said, Mommy, there's water, but she didn't. And then only about 30 minutes later did they realize, oh my, the geyser has burst when the other two were now going to go get dressed. Autism, in many respects, stinks. It is horrible in some of the things that it does. Thankfully, relationship-wise with her sister, she's improving, hey? And in fact, her sister, her twin, it's the first name she has said, just saying it. She took a plate of a food that she didn't want last week. It was only last week, eh? And she took the plate and she goes, nay, nay, and she handed it to her. So she was saying, nay, nay, here, take this food. I don't want to eat it. And so they're getting there. She doesn't push her anymore. they play next to each other, parallel play. They don't play together or with each other, but they play next to each other. They sit next to each other, not far away. And there's a time they would even kiss each other, mwah, before going to bed. So it's improving. It's improving, but there's so much more room for improvement. And we will see. We'll see. We will never force our children to do anything that is uncomfortable to them. And I hope others are aware. Please don't. If it's uncomfortable, it is hurting the brain in a manner of speech. It's hurting. So don't force the physical touch. Don't force the eye contact. She now looks at us. She now does look at us. Some will never look at anybody. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with them in the traditional sense of the word, or of the phrase wrong with. It's just how they are. And I think it's an easier autism trait to handle, the lack of eye contact. It's the lack of communication for those who can't communicate. That for me is the big issue. It's the ones who I've seen where they're just rocking and bashing their heads either on a hard cupboard or against a hard wall. That sort of autism, when it's like that, it's not any gift. It's not a gift. It's something that needs to be cured. That kind of autism needs to be cured. It's not fair on the child. It's not fair on the caregivers at all. So yeah, that's the journey with our angel. Things are improving slowly, definitely. She hates us taking her things. She's got a bowl of food. It's her bowl of food. It's hers only. But this very last week, when I was at the doctor sorting this thing out, or getting it diagnosed rather, she had a leftover packet of peanuts and raisins. She put it into her bowl, and then her twin decided, I also want some. So her twin took her own bowl, took her sister's bowl, and as I said, we all believe she's autistic. She's got her own traits, order according to color. She'll eat her food according to color. So all the reds must be eaten first, and then the greens, and then the oranges, and even her toys. She arranges them according to color, not type, or, she's got many autism traits herself, shame. And one of them is liking order. I might as well combine them. They're twins. She likes order and routine. Routine is big. Everyone needs to sit in the same chair. She will cry if I sit in her big brother's chair. Recently she laughs and says, hey, that's not your chair. But if she's dysregulated, she will cry. If she's in a okay state, she will laugh about it, and she will make sure you know that you're not sitting in the right chair, but she'll laugh. If there's a lot of anxiety pressing on her and she's had to strengthen herself against, color, sound, smell, then she'll cry. So we all know, for her sake, for her happiness, we must all sit in our same chairs. This is my chair that I'm sitting in now, my sofa. And when it's time to pray, if I'm here to pray, she will come and she will squash herself here. That's how it has to be. What is the saying? How they play? Yeah, they play together. Yes, the bowl. So she took the bowl. This is my talking twin. And she counted, like she made sure, it was like she's a... There was this cartoon. Who's that cartoon with the boring guy? I've forgotten him. Comic strip. Yeah, it's a comic. Is it Egbert, Dalbert, whoever it is? But she reminds me of something like that. She made sure that both the bowls had the exact same amount of peanuts and raisins. She even picked like one or two, so that they're both equal, and they really were very equal. And I thought, what a wonderful 4-year-old. And through all this, my girl, who would scream, she screams as soon as I say, no, can we share this? If she wants me to open the fridge, I'll open the fridge, and she wants the whole container of grapes. And if I say no, can we take some? Or if I say, can I cut? Or she will scream. She wants the whole bunch of grapes. And she does that with different kinds of food. So if I had taken away the raisins and peanuts and split them up, as I've tried to do before, she would have lost her mind. But she, uncharacteristically, watched her twin was quiet and calm and took the bowl and ate from it. So my point is, it's been bad. I think because I'm also rushing, there are things I'm forgetting, and I don't want to make it long, because long, I know, is taxing, especially if you aren't able to fast forward the video. But I just wanted to say that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Not always, not always. I was ready for a child who will never speak. I had to accept it. But at least now, she will say some grapes, or she will say things like every day, or she will say, if I ask her, do you want, she'll pull me from my room. She's still pulling me. And I will say, okay, what do you want? Bread. And then she'll say some grapes, she'll say some cereal. So she has 2-word phrases, and she will correct me, which is big. It's much better than not knowing what she wants. So we're getting there. I'm praying, though, that we do get further along. I want her to be able to speak, mostly because she isn't interested in signing. She's only signed maybe 3 times, and twice it was the wrong sign for the wrong. So she will say water. We have. they're also learning in relative peace and quiet. And she's there also learning in relative peace and quiet. There's a lot that I've had to do, and I'm sure there's a lot that I will share as time goes on. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, and yeah, we'll see what I can tell you if you have anything you want to know. Hello, Rio. Hey, you.
Oh,
What's that? What is she doing, Nayla? She's showing her?
the
And her?
tongue.
Yes, her tongue. Hey, you. They are the girls. Yes, she's a girl. She's cute. Oh, you're so kind. Thank you, Naylo.
You take the bus.
You want to take the bus? I don't think so. She's playing with it, okay? You're playing with the bus. There's no. It's for you. It's for Rio.
Yeah.
Yes, it's for Rio. Come. Bye.
Bye.
I like your hair.
Tried.
You tried?
Oh, this is a plastic
Yes.
This is
It's from your?
yogurt.
Yes, it is. It's from your yogurt. Thank you very much.
That's why you're looking for a spoon.
Yes, you were licking it and you had a spoon. That's true.
That's why it's for the yogurt.
Who's this? Who's that?
Bunny.
Bunny. Yes.
I put this in the bin.
Yes. Must I take it to the bin?
Yes.
Thank you. Rio. I love you. You're eating. You are eating. I'm holding a lid. It was yogurt. It was the lid from the yogurt. Fine, just take it. Good job. You're eating.
I really know about ADHD.
I haven't actually discussed it. Maybe I should ask you about ADHD, shouldn't I? Yeah. All right. Ugh. Hi, everyone. I've got my children. What's your name?
I'm Marissa.
Can you look there? What's your name?
I'm Marissa.
Thank you. What's your name?
Mickey.
Mickey, Mikaya. How old are you?
8.
And how old are you?
8.
Yes. When is your birthday?
In December.
It's in December. Okay. Do you remember the date? Pardon?
No.
No, my angel forgets her birthday. Shame. It's the 27th. How old are you going to turn?
8, 9.
Yes. Okay.
10.
All right. So I thought I was going to ask them about their thoughts on their sister, Uriradile, Rio. But then they said they want to talk about ADHD. So this will be a separate video about special needs in our family. This is just off the cuff. All right. That means I just decided just to change things.
Okay.
All right. First, let's talk about Rio. Does Rio have any challenges?
Yes.
Yes.
Like she lies on top of the carpets. Puts her favorite blankets like her pillow blankets, which is her pillow. She appreciates that as her blankets. Her favorite one. She sucks herself and lies down on her tummy and. Oh, finally.
Hi, Mikaya. Why are you laughing?
I'm having fun.
So she covers her head when she likes the song.
Yes. Anything, even if it's just a video or anything like that.
If it's her favorite, then she goes and gets the pillow, the thingy,
Yes.
the receiving blanket.
Yes.
Oh,
You do this in the kind of snack and sit.
Rio. Her happy place is covered up. Okay,
Just-
this is Micaiah. Micaiah has autism, right?
Yes.
You are a proud autistic boy, right?
Yes.
And he has ADHD, right?
Yes.
And global developmental delay, right?
Yes. What is that?
And speech discrimination and a lot of speech issues. And auditory processing disorder. You didn't know all that, did you?
No.
What did you know that you've got?
ADHD?
You know you've got ADHD and
Autism.
autism. What about when we go to Auntie Karen? Why do we go to Auntie Karen? Both of you, Amy?
For vision therapy.
For vision therapy. They've both got vision and visual discrimination challenges. Do you know what that means?
No.
No. Okay, we'll get to you. Can you tell me what challenges Rio has?
Autism?
And what does that do for her? Or what does it do to her? Or what does she do that reminds you that she has autism?
That she cannot speak.
She cannot speak. And how did that make you feel when you realized she can't speak?
Sad?
It made you sad.
Yes.
Do you have any feelings about her not speaking?
Yes.
How do you feel?
Very, very sad.
Why do you feel sad, Amy?
Because I wish she could speak so we knew what she wanted. That's what I was even going to say.
That's what you were going to say. You wish you could speak so you know what she wants. That's exactly my problem too.
But
We want to know what she wants, right?
right, but she just grabs Ila's hand and
Yep, she grabs our hands and pulls us to where she wants to go.
Tuesday she speaks. Sometimes she speaks what she wants.
Yes, sometimes she says what she wants. Can you tell me ideas? What does she say?
She says cereal and she says some grapes.
Some grapes.
That's fun.
Yes. So she's starting to speak, right?
Yes.
All right. Good. Okay. I will end this segment and post it to the end of the Rio autism segment, and then next one will be these two in a different video.